Alright, very quickly, what I'm going to show on this video is complete control. It's down here. You can see it, but you'll see it. Just the basics, alright? The basics. What I found out is when you have these instruments, a lot of people struggle with just the basic buttons on it. You know what I mean? Like, I know there are things on my machine studio that I haven't even used yet. I may understand what it does, but I don't need it. But I haven't even used some. There may be one or two things that I haven't used because I don't know what it does, or maybe I don't need it. So usually it's what you need is what you trying to find out how that works. So if I buy something new, you study what it does, the basics. From the basics, then you move up. So as you move up and figure out what do I do, how do I do this, I usually, I theorize it. I put it in theory. How do I do this? I try to figure, okay, how do I do this with this? You know what I mean? So I know what I want to do, but then how do I accomplish that with this machine or with the software? And I'm a hardware guy, so I like to work more on the hardware than the software. All right? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to point the camera down to my complete control. Just go through the basic buttons and settings. That way you can kick somebody off. All right? You buy it, you can start off, working on it, making music. All right? I also have videos on connecting the complete control and the machine studio and the software. So you can have a video on that, so look up that video, tell you how to mesh it up or how I use it. All right? So I'll be back. All right, I'm back. Play, stop. See the play? So play. Alright. So just in case you want to know, I have this and I got the machine studio. I already have a video on this. I don't want to repeat what I already have. I have a video on how I made the connection. But real quick, I use them together, alright? So that's how I want to do it. So I want this to be a controller as well. So play, stop. So when I do a record, if I want to record, push the record button. Then I come over here, push the pattern. Alright, if I count the metro in, if I push the record and then the play, alright, so once you push the record and push the play, I'm gonna get a new, hold up, let me open up a new file in here. I was working on something, so I wanted to make that. Alright, so this is a new on the machine. Now I don't use complete control, I use machine for everything. So as you know, complete control the machine, pretty much the same thing from Native Instruments. So when you push play, you can hear the metronome going. Now you can see the patterns going. All right. Now another good thing about the new software version 2.10 is that it could be set to auto, so you don't have to move this. You can move that to 2 bars, 4 bars, or whatever you're recording. I normally do 4 or 8 bars. Or you can have it on auto, but once you touch it, you can go back. That's what I found out. Okay, so set it on 4, and then you record. All right. So I have the record button. Stop. So push to record, push play, and then you're good to record. All right. So let me play something in. So let me play something in here real quick. Hang on. So now you want to select a sound, for example. All right. So you go over here to the browse. See the browse. I clean this up, but it's just a little bit the lights. I click the browse. When you click the browse, it brings up your instruments groups. So you can use this button to scroll through the groups, projects, groups, sounds, instruments, effects. So you're pushing these buttons, okay? Just scrolling through. You can use this to do a search. You can use this to do a user. So, and then what I would do, I'm going to select something random. I'm going to go to a group. I'm going to, instead of user, I'm going to go back to, I'm going to go to a group, and let's say then you can scroll through this. So when you scroll, so this will select. So when you scroll through this, see how you're scrolling and it's moving to the different groups. So I'm just going to pick up, I'm just going to go to the community D, community drive. Then on here, so you can either use this knob down here to scroll down, or you can use this general browse knob to scroll down. All right, scroll down, find your bit. Now you can either use load, push this button to load, or you can actually push this button to load. So I'm going to push this. It says loading, it loads it. See what I'm saying? So it loads it. So if you're watching what I'm doing, these are the various options you have for actually loading a bit and get going. So once it loads it, so what I will do, come to select my pattern, set it to 4 bars, set the record, push play, it's going. So I'm waiting for when it starts from the very beginning, okay? So normally when you, I'm gonna stop this. So when you try to make a beat for the first time on the Komplete Kontrol, you're following my steps, right? When I select the groups, also I have another video on, see how I selected the groups. So when I go to browse, up here, browse, I have the groups. I'm in groups, right? And I selected the community drive. Okay. So the groups give me, when you select the groups, it gives you actually all the instruments. That's another way to make, to easily create music on machine, because it gives you all the instruments quickly right there. All right. That way you don't have to, that way you don't have to pick instruments one by one. Okay. It gives you all the instruments. Now, what you can do is to make sure you get the drum, bass drum, hi-hats, and just this 8 instruments, 8 key instrument that you have. You push key mode. When you push key mode, see how it drops it for you for just instruments. So it starts with the bass, the snare, hi-hat, another hat, all the instruments go. All right. So you can also make sure you push it on key mode. Key mode just gives you those instruments in key mode. All right. So you can actually, all right. So you can actually play. All right. So now the next thing is I'm going to set the tempo. All right. So look at the tempo. Push the tempo. When you hold the tempo down, right here it changes. You can move the tempo down to, I'm going to set it to about, let's say 90. All right, so I got the tempo. So you push the tempo, hold the tempo down, and then move the knob and select it. Then I push play, record, play. I'm ready to go. Let's go, go. So because I have it in auto, what's going to happen is I'm going to stop it and then shift and then loop, start all over. So you hold shift and play, start all over. I have it at 4 bars, okay? So it's just gonna keep going, right? All right, it's gonna keep going. Then I can come back and add the hi-hat. You know? So now you can just start producing, pretty much. You can start producing. From then on, add more instruments, do what you need to do. Okay, I'm gonna add more because this might actually turn out to be something nice, you know what I mean? So I could probably just add this. Let's add it, record, push record. See that? So that's your first recording, drum lines. For me, that's how I record my drums. All right. So now I want to move over to the next pattern. I'm not gonna do this. Will be on the same group, but the first pattern. So if I want to move to, let's say, the next track. Some people might call this scene. This is the first scene, but the next track. Or the next pattern, so this is the pattern 1, pattern 2, move on to the next pattern and record whatever else you need to record. If you need to record something on the same group, on the same pattern, okay? But then you need to move to the next group so you can record in the next group. Now to move to the next group to record, so now we are in, this is the first group, group A, first pattern. Move to the next group, you hold the track key. See, as I hold the track key, hold on the track key and click on group B. So it goes into group B, and these are color coded too. So group B is usually yellow. All right, and everything I'm doing on my complete control is also happening over here. I mean, that's my setup. Most people may not have that kind of setup, but this is my setup. Everything I'm doing on the complete is also happening over here because I want it that way. That way I can do either or. I can decide to make a beat just on this without looking at my Machine Studio, or I can just decide to make a beat on the Machine Studio without looking at this. So you go on group B, push record, push play, leave it on auto. Once you leave it on auto and record, you stop it, it goes back, it picks up your time. It picks up your time signature, not time signature, picks up the length. So that's the cool thing about it. You don't need to set the length anymore. If you want to set the length, you can just set it also to 4, and then you record the rest of them. Okay, so if you want to go back to pattern 1, you push that. Okay, so now it's playing. Go to B, find another instrument. Go to browse, find the next instrument, and then record it. All right, I think this is the most basic and the most practical example I can give you. I hope you got it. Hope it makes sense to you. So hit me up. More questions. There's a lot more you can do with this, but it's just a beautiful tool. All right, and let me know if you have questions. Until next time, I got beats on boomjbeats.com. And if you're new, go ahead and hit the subscription and also the bell button so whenever I post, you get it. Until next time, peace out. Let me finish working on this beat.